Okay, in this geometry lesson, it's on mid-segment theorem, and it states that a mid-segment theorem is a segment connecting to the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half as long as that side. So if you look at this diagram here, if you can see that GH here is parallel to BC. And if you look at this way, you can see that HJ here is parallel to AC. We should also know the formula is that the distance here, BC, is half as long as GH. So BC is half as long as GH. And if we look at this way, we also notice that HJ here is half as long as AC. Or, HJ is twice as long as AC. AC is half as long as HJ. So this is twice as long, this is half. It's important that we know that so that we can plug in to figure out how to create our algebraic equation. What they are giving us is GH. They said that GH here is 7z minus 1. And BC here is 4z minus 3. So that's already given. They want us to solve what is GH. What is GH? Okay. So the first thing we need to do is set up our algebraic equation. And we're just basically going to put the 7z minus 1, which is already given right here, is equal to whatever 2, this in their formula, 2 times 4z minus 3. So far, so good, guys? Yeah. Okay. So over here, I'm not doing anything. So I'm going to just keep it at 7z minus 1. Equal, now I'm going to multiply 2 times 4z, and notice that the 2 is a positive and the 4 is also a positive. So when the rule is that when we're multiplying or dividing same signs, it equals to a positive. Different signs is a negative. So here we have a positive 2 multiplied by a positive 4z, therefore it is going to be a positive number. 2 times 4 is 8, that's 8z. Over here we're multiplying 2 times negative 3. They're different signs. 2 is positive and then 3 is negative. Different signs you multiply and different signs will be a negative number. So 2 times 3 is 6. So that's a positive 8z minus 6, or positive 8z, negative 6. The next step is that we're going to separate our variables from our non-variable numbers. I like to keep them all together. And because I'm going to keep, in this situation where 8z is greater than 7z, I'm going to bring the 7z over to the other side of the equal sign so I don't have to deal with a negative number. So in this situation, I'm actually going to bring the 6 over to this side and change the sign. So I have a negative 1 here with the positive 6. Is equal to 8z, and bringing this one over there would make it 7z. Again, this operation right in here, we are no longer multiplying or dividing, we are adding and subtracting. The rule is if they are different signs, you have to subtract, and if they are same signs, you will add. You always take the sign of the greater number. So in this situation here, I just want to separate the variable numbers from the non-variables. Does that make sense so far, guys? Yeah. So Now in here we're adding and subtracting. here you have a -1 and a +6. They are different signs. I'm going to subtract, take the sign of the greater number. This becomes 5. Because 6 is greater than 1, therefore it's a +5. Over here, they are different signs. We got a +8 here and a -7z. So I'm going to subtract, take the sign of the greater number, and 8 is greater than 7. It's a positive sign, therefore it is z. I didn't put 1z because if it's just z1, z is it's already known, it's a given that it is represented by 1. So we already found out the answer here. Z is equal to 5. I'm going to go back up here to plug in because they wanted us to solve for GH. So 7z, plugging in, substituting, is 5 minus 1. 7 times 5 is 35 minus 1. GH is equal to 34. And that's our answer. GH here is 34.